Hey everybody, it's Tim Heidecker. You know me, Tim and Eric, Bridesmaids, and Fantastic Four. I'd like to personally invite you to listen to Office Hours Live with me and my co-hosts, DJ Doug Pound.
Hello.
And Vic Berger.
Howdy.
Every week we bring you laughs, fun, games, and lots of other surprises. It's live. We take your Zoom calls.
Music.
We love having fun. Excuse me?
Songs. Vic said something.
Songs.
Music.
I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. Please subscribe now.
This episode may contain explicit language. Welcome to Mom and Dad Are Fighting, Slate's parenting podcast for Thursday, December 7th, the Call a Timeout edition. I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. I write the family travel blog, Dutch Goose. I'm the mom of 3 littles, Henry, who's 11, Oliver, who's 9, and Teddy, who's 7. We live in Tokyo, Japan.
I'm Jamila Lemieux, a writer, contributor to Slate's Parent Feeding Parenting column, and mom to Naima, who's 10, and we live in Los Angeles.
I'm Zach Rosen. I host another podcast. It's called The Best Advice Show, and I'm dad to Noah, who's 6, and Ami, who's 3. We live in Detroit.
Well, today on the show, we are going to help a listener who wants help dealing with other parents who are taking little kids' sports way too seriously. Should the parents be benched? We're also going to catch up on our week in parenting, and then if you're in the Slate Plus club, how the heck do you purge stuffies? Can you do it without the kids noticing? Do you need to concoct an elaborate disappearing scheme? Do you just live with the ever-growing pile? Here's what you'll hear if you have Slate Plus.
That's one of the great experiences in parenting, I think, is dropping crap off at Goodwill, knowing that someone might use it, like I'm not throwing it in the garbage, and, you know, having a slightly lighter load in your basement and knowing that the kids don't really care. I mean, the purge is a deeply satisfying thing.
Goodwill here is like a challenge. Like there's a number of them in Southern California, but they often get so much stuff that they close their gates like before the day is over. So you want to make sure that you get over there before like 1 o'clock, you know, and I usually would spend the earlier part of the day doing stuff. Then like, okay, it's the afternoon. Now I want to go to Goodwill. And you get there and they'd be like, no.
They reach their stuffy quota for the day.
No.
Huh.
By becoming a Slate Plus member, you'll enjoy a weekly bonus segment and all your beloved Slate podcasts without any advertisement. It's the ultimate way to enhance your listening experience while also providing vital support to the show. You can join Slate Plus today by visiting slate.com/momanddadplus. All right, we're going to jump into triumphs and fails as soon as we get back from this short break.
This episode is brought to you by KiwiCo. My son, Ami, he's 3. He's in his dinosaur phase right now. He's deep in. He wants to learn about this stuff. And I got a book from the library. He's got a toy dinosaur. But what if Ami could unwrap like this super fun, dino-centric science, technology, and art project? He can, and he will. If you're in the dinosaur phase too, you could check out the chomping mechanical dinosaur costume that you can make yourself. There's a paleontologist starter kit. When you give KiwiCo, you're gifting so much more than a small box of toys. You're giving the gift of discovery through hands-on experiences and giving kids the tools to learn more about topics that they love, like dinosaurs, like rocket ships. My 6-year-old daughter and I, we've been going through the astronaut starter kit. We constructed our own miniature solar system that actually spins. It was so fun. It took like less than an hour, honestly, and all of the stuff just came really well organized for us to unwrap and get going. Unwrap more than a gift. Discover hands-on fun with KiwiCo. Get your first month free on any crate line at kiwico.com/momanddad. That's your first month free at kiwico.com/momanddad.
Hey there, Mom and Dad Are Fighting listeners. It's the holiday season, so let's talk about Etsy. Are you on a mission to find handcrafted, affordable gifts made by independent sellers? Well, whether you're searching for custom home pieces like cutting boards, linens, and throw pillows for your favorite holiday hosts, or personalized items like purses, necklaces, and seasonal jackets for your most stylish friends and family, Etsy has it all. If you need something for the home chef in your life like serveware and cookware, or a style piece like rings, clutches, and seasonal jackets for that trend-setting special someone, Etsy has it for all budgets and any gifting mission. Etsy has even put together one-of-a-kind gift guides for him, her, kids of all ages, and more, so you'll never run out of ideas. New to Etsy? Use the code HOLIDAY10 for 10% off your first purchase. That's code HOLIDAY10. Maximum discount value of $50. Expires December 31st, 2023. See terms at etsy.com/terms. For handcrafted and affordable gifts for everyone on your list, Etsy has it. We're back. Zach, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I think it's safe to call this a fail. Noah bullied someone at school. My daughter's a bully, apparently.
No.
No.
Yes, she did. Well, it was an isolated incident. But she had a substitute teacher last week, and we heard later in the day that Noah was antagonizing one of her classmates and said that she didn't like her hair. Which was so disappointing to hear. Like, we talk a lot about how if you don't have something nice to say about someone, you shouldn't say it. And apparently, like, we heard from her that she was really having a hard day because everything was so different. You know, like the substitute there kind of disrupted the rhythm of the day, and I think that set her off course. I still don't think that that's a good enough excuse for antagonizing someone. So that night after it happened, we talked about it, and she said, I know it wasn't nice. I shouldn't have done that, but I was having a hard day, and so per Shira's suggestion, Noah, we told Noah that she needed to write an apology note to her friend, which she did. And she also needed to apologize to the substitute teacher. And she did. And we haven't yet heard of another flare-up. Actually, just before this recording, I texted the teacher just to ask, like, hey, has Noah been antagonizing anyone this week? I haven't heard back for sure, but I think we would have heard had this pattern, continued. So I think she made amends. We were proud of her for doing so. But I don't want to bully in my house, and she knows that. And we were visibly disappointed, but we were, doing our best not to shame her, which of course we don't want to do. So I'm really hoping it was just like weird day, something was in the air, and that Noah doesn't become, the perpetual bully. So I'm going to report back, but I think that she's doing all right since then.
How did you hear about it initially?
That we have this like app system. That we have an app that we get messages from the school, so the teacher let us know.
And so, like, the substitute messaged you?
No, the substitute must have communicated it to the
like office or something.
To her full-time teacher who.
Okay, who messaged you?
Yeah.
So one, kids make mistakes. I don't think she's a bully yet. Maybe she engaged in bullying behavior, right? Yeah. But I think that, like, the way we teach our kids not to be bullies is when they do these things, making them make it right, like making them be empathetic about it and think about how that must have felt from the other person. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very fine line to think about, like, well, I'm allowed to state my opinion, and sometimes my opinion might hurt someone, and learning, like, when that's appropriate and not, right? So I think it's good that she's learning it now and not, when she's older.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
What was it about the little girl's hair? Did you get to the bottom of that? Like, was maybe she jealous of the hairstyle?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, and we didn't get deep enough into it.
Yeah, like, why this girl? Why this hair? Why today?
Right.
Just seizing some control. Like, I do think sometimes it's like, if the situation is new, a way to seize control is like to say, you know what I mean? Just like make an observation. But I agree. Why this girl? Yeah,
and it is her good friend in class. So I don't know at this point. Now we're a week past it. Do you think I should try to get that detail, or do you think if things are going all right, I should just let it go?
I don't think there's anything wrong with asking, like, just out of curiosity, what made you comment on Sarah's hair?
Yeah.
I agree. I think you can ask her now, especially if it's your friend. Like, I've just been thinking about it, and I'm wondering why the hair, because maybe there is something else there.
I'll ask.
Sounds like you guys handled it well, though. I love a good apology note.
Yeah, they're important.
Well, Jamila, how's your week going?
Mostly good, but I did have a fail yesterday. So I've talked a few times about Naima and I having some challenges in the morning. And, she's older now and she's really focused on her hair. And she's also been, if I don't stop her, like Naima will put on makeup in the mornings. I shouldn't say if I don't stop her, but we had to have a conversation about it because it was increasing each day. Like she was being very subtle about it. Like first it was just a little highlighter, then it was some blush, and then one day she put on setting powder, which made it look like she had a full face. It looks crazy. It looks like a child wearing makeup, And I was like, why do you have all this on? But in general, our mornings have been getting better, and she's been getting up. She's been getting herself up extra early so she can do whatever to her hair in the morning and pick out her outfit and take her time. And yesterday it went fine and we got out the house early. And what I've been doing is I pack her breakfast to eat in the car.
Okay.
Instead of, her eating it in the house, which saves her some time.
Totally.
And yesterday she had a bowl of cereal. She had a bowl of Raisin Bran. And she had been a little nervous with cereal because like at one point I bought some like to-go cups of cereal that were designed to be eaten on the go. So it was a little safer. Right. But this was an actual bowl. So when the car would move, the milk would move, and she would get kind of, And so we had just gotten in the car. She was really pleased with her outfit. And the bowl of cereal was on her lap. And she asked me to adjust her seat so she could put her seatbelt on. And so when I moved, the car kind of jerks. And she gets cereal all over her lap. Oh, no. She cries. She was like, this was the only good outfit I had, which is not true. Like, it's crazy. She has so many clothes, but she manages to hate them all. This was the only good outfit I had, and now I'm going to be late, and I haven't been late in a while, and this is messing up my streak. So I felt really bad. But she had to go in the house. She had to go in the house and pick out a new outfit.
Were you late?
Yes. Not super late, but still where she had to go to the office and get a tardy slip.
Oh, no.
And was she okay after school? Like, was she still bent out of shape about it?
No, she wasn't. She let it go.
Okay.
You need the Crunch Cup.
Ooh, what's that?
What's that?
It's like a cup that the cereal goes in one compartment. Everyone Google it. And the milk goes in another. We were like, I don't use it very much here because we're not in the car. And you kind of drink it, and it gives you some cereal and some milk, and it doesn't leak.
You have this?
Yeah, we have one.
So for those who can't Google it right now, the cereal is in a smaller cup inside a larger cup, which has the milk in it, and so you open it just like you would like a big smoothie cup or something. And so it's two different compartments that are releasing the cereal and milk simultaneously. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's like you kind of drink it. It is kind of a strange sensation.
I want this.
But it worked really well. It's like the most American of products because
totally.
I brought it here being like, oh, maybe this will be helpful. But one, I can't eat on the go, and two, like we're not in the car. But it was, when we drove around in the morning, it's a great way to take some cereal on the go.
And the ingenious thing about it is that it isn't just because the cereal and milk aren't together, you're not getting the soggies.
Yeah.
Wow, I think this is your Christmas gift for Naima.
Go. She needs a Crunch Cup.
You can get over 40% off your first order. You're welcome, Crunch Cup. Wow.
This is one of those things I had tucked back there thinking, I don't know that anyone, like this is great for us, but do you need this? But I feel like Naima needs this.
I think she needs this. I love how everyone in the pictures has Fruit Loops. That's just the default normal cereal that active adults are eating.
Right.
I mean, I was thinking when you said, like Raisin Bran, I do wonder if the flakes and you might have to like test it to see. I mean, the nozzle's pretty wide.
Interesting. Right.
But it does seem designed for more of like my kids love
more
Cheerios,
compact
but it
cereal.
doesn't work with like mini wheats. Forget it.
Right.
You shouldn't be drinking those anyway.
But I mean, Jamila, just a couple weeks ago, you were talking about how being tardy was the norm, and now it's an outlier when you are. So the trend is shifting.
Yes.
I love this.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Plus, this was like a real reason. Like people have, it's like when you
Raisin
spill
Bran
coffee.
Lab is legit.
It's
Like
legit.
this is a life. Yeah, this wasn't like a choice. This is like a act of God.
What's going on in Tokyo?
Oh gosh. Okay, so you guys, we had almost a disaster yesterday. Jeff's out of town again. When Jeff's out of town, I drive the kids to school in the morning, which he's been doing because he often drives to work. But then they take the train home. When Jeff's here, like some days he goes to pick them up. Some days they take the train home on their own. Mm-hmm. So yesterday, they have a phone with them, and the two big kids are at one campus. Teddy's at another campus. They walk over. They get Teddy. They go to the train station. So I have asked them to like message me just like, hey, we got Teddy. Hey, we're getting on the train, because that just helps me kind of know where they are. So they message me that they got Teddy, and then I just don't hear from them. And so I go to check my app, and I notice that they all have like trackers. 2 of the trackers are at the station where they can change trains. Teddy's tracker is not at the station where they change trains. So I message Henry, hey, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, everything's great. And then like the 3 little dots appear. And then, hold on, I have to read to you what he texted me, because this pursues. I said, are y'all doing fine? Yeah, we're doing great. Then ... Oliver was alone with Teddy and we lost him. And I'm like, really? Is this a joke? Yeah, Oliver was in charge of him. This is not a joke. And I'm like, so is Oliver missing or Teddy's missing? And he's like, no, Oliver's with me. It's like, I cannot get the information. I try to call them, can't get through, like it won't connect on the call. So I'm like, okay. Trying to like get Henry to like give me the information of when they last saw. I'm like, when did you last see him? He's like, with Oliver. I'm like, no, where? So we finally determined that the last time they saw each other, Henry and Oliver had some sort of a disagreement, and they got on different train cars. And Teddy was kind of lined up to get on with Oliver, but then left the train and tried to get on with Henry. And meanwhile, of course, the train doors closed and left. And somehow they didn't notice until they met on the platform of the new train. So I'm like, okay, Henry, you need to go back to the station, because he's going to get there faster than me. He needs to like go back to the station for school. Oliver's going to like continue home and see if he gets, picks up Teddy on the way. And meanwhile, I'm going to call a friend that like lives by the school and see if she'll just walk down to the station. So I start getting on the phone with a friend. This took a while to like coordinate, because Henry took a while to figure out what was going on. Okay, meanwhile, I'm like standing looking down the street. My house looks down the street, and here comes a little boy with his book bag. It is Teddy. He has made it home faster than the other 2. I still do not understand exactly what happened. I have already texted this mom, hey, I think maybe Teddy got left at the station. Would you go down? She's like, oh my gosh, are you panicking? I'm like, no, and actually, hold on. Like, he's coming down the, road. Then I've got to try to get a hold of Henry to be like, do not go back to the station. Teddy is here. So Teddy's like, yeah, the doors closed on me. So I got on the next train. And then at the place where they change trains, there are like 2, one train is always waiting. It's kind of like being added to the line. And so it sits for longer. He came down the escalator and got on like the train that doesn't sit. My kids usually like to get on the one that sits because you can get a seat. So he completed the circuit faster than
Look at the city kid.
Than the other 2.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Did he feel good about himself?
Averted. He was super proud. When he came in, he was like, I got left and I found my way home.
That's a big deal for
That's
him.
huge.
It is
What
a big
what
deal.
a big like moment of resilience there.
And I was a bit worried, because our rule has sort of been like, if you get lost, stay put. And he was like, so I said to him, like, hey, when you got lost, like, what were you thinking? And he was like, well, I know our rule is if we get lost, stay put, but that's with adults. And I was with my brothers. And he's like, and I know how to get home. And so I was like, okay. They do carry like notes in their bag that say in Japanese, like, this is my phone number. I'm trying to get to Gotanda Station, you know, like all of this information. So I did feel like he knows he can go. There's the amount of like workers anywhere is large. So there are like plenty of people that he could go to and ask, right? But he was like, no, I knew where to transfer. So I
great.
need to be less worried, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, how do you reflect on that in retrospect? Because I would have been freaking out. But like after he made it through and made it home okay, are you thinking like, I'm glad we're here. This is great practice for my kids, or is it like, what a scary place we live in?
Well, no, I mean, I think the nice part is it's like there are so few like bad things that I mean, there's plenty of stuff that happens here, right? But like there is not the fear of children going missing. There is not the fear that he was going to be like hit by some car. My biggest fear was, I wonder if he's really scared. That's actually what I thought. Is like, is he sitting at this train station really scared?
Right.
But apparently no, he just got on the next train. So
that's awesome.
Great.
Congrats.
I feel good. But also like I, you know, was like, boys, the job is to stay together. Literally the whole job, stay together.
I bet they'll be more diligent after that.
I think Henry was scared, which is good because he's, you know, ultimately, you know, because he was like, well, Oliver lost him. And I was like, but Henry, ultimately, it's your responsibility to get everyone home. Like, you're the oldest. So,
yeah.
Well, on that note, we are going to take another quick break and then we'll see you back here for our listener question. Hey grown-ups, do you love the holidays? Because if so, oh boy, we do not have the perfect show for you. From Wondery and Dr. Seuss comes a holiday podcast for the whole family that's about as enjoyable as icicles in your hot cocoa. It's 'Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show. We all know he hates Christmas season, but can you listen along and find out the reason? Each week, one of your favorite celebrities will try to get the Grinch's heart to grow 3 whole sizes. Well, good luck with that. Listen to your favorite celebrity, join the hilariously gross guessing game, Name That Sound, and get ready for the holidays with a bunch of big green-bellied laughs for the whole family. Follow 'Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to 'Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Hey listeners, whether you love true crime or comedies, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, then they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now that's something you'll want to press play on. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to choose the best option for you, fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode is brought to you by KiwiCo. Imagine giving a gift that's not just a present, but a personalized journey into a child's passion, making them feel truly seen and loved. I recently gifted KiwiCo's Panda Crate, which is for babies, as a baby gift. These boxes are designed for ages 0 to 36 months. These are not just any toys, they're high-quality toys accompanied by this guide that really enhance the learning experience. And honestly, what makes KiwiCo truly special is its commitment to fostering this interactive learning. As a parent, I found their crates spanning various age groups to be our family's favorite. I'm on here talking about them all the time because I love facilitating hands-on activities that promote continuous learning and bonding. Unwrap more than a gift. Discover hands-on fun with KiwiCo. Get your first month free on any crate line at kiwico.com/momanddad. That's your first month free at kiwico.com/momanddad. We're back, and here's today's listener question.
Dear Mom and Dad are fighting. My 3-year-old takes a few different sports classes, largely due to his interest in sports, and to match his older siblings' schedules. He loves participating in his classes and joyfully anticipates them each week. He generally does best with us on the sideline, as seems to be the norm for his classes. He recently started a new class at the same sports center, but the heavy parental involvement in this class has been a challenge. The class is for 3 to 6-year-olds, no requirement or ask for parental involvement, and a more than adequate coach-to-participant ratio. Yet many kids have both parents and younger siblings on the court with them. Some of the parents are socializing on the court, some are very hands-on, guiding their kids through each drill, some are doing the drills themselves, and some are videotaping the whole time. None of the kids seem particularly fussy or needing their parents there, and none of them have been asked by the coaches to participate. While a few of the other parents opt for the sidelines too, the majority are on the court. At the last class, we showed up early, he had a good spot in the lineup and his gear ready, but abandoned it to come check in with me because of parents crowding out his space. When he went back as class started, the parents had taken all the pucks and sticks for their own use, so we had to ask the parents to give one to him. He struggled to find a spot as the parents had taken up the space on the line. He had to navigate around them to do the drills, and they kept hitting his puck instead of stepping out of the way as he worked his way across the court. He asked me to come on the court with him, which I did, but he still got frustrated with the crowd and asked to sit out for the rest of the class. During the break between his and his sister's classes, he gladly played with her while other kids were on the court. He expresses an interest in continuing to play. How do I help support him? Do I talk with the coaches? Do we give up on this class? Is this the norm for parents in this age range? Thanks, bench the parents.
And this is a 3-year-old.
These parents absolutely need to be benched. What the hell is going on? That sounds so chaotic. I haven't experienced that. We've done soccer, we've done t-ball, and the parents being kind of all over the court. That I don't understand how the coaches, and we know that there's like enough to go around, aren't asking the parents to relax. I mean, this would really piss me off if I were you, bench the parents. So I feel where you're coming from. I would talk to the coaches first and ask them like what their philosophy is around this. That's where I would start. And I mean, you ask, do we give up on this class? If this is the norm, if they're like, yeah, we kind of let parents have free range here, I would consider pulling them if your kid continues not to feel like they have space to move around here. Especially because they're 3. Like, I think you can do a lot of, I get it. I get that you're trying to match their siblings' schedules. So it might just be that all the kids are at this sports complex at the same time. So logistically, I can see how that makes sense. But kind of, I think a larger point around this is like, I don't know how important it is for 3-year-olds to be like getting sports instruction. I think like, I think about this similar to like how I think about like music lessons. I think if we start the kids off too early, and especially if it's a stressful environment, it's not going to engender good feelings around this sport. Like, you can do plenty of sports practice at home with just the 2 of you, and they can gain some like fundamental skills without the structure of, you know, some kind of institution to teach them this stuff. So I don't know. This doesn't sound fun to me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too sensitive here.
How do you not notice that as a coach? Like,
I don't, or maybe they don't care, or maybe they don't know if that's the norm. Like, this it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound safe. I think it is okay to give up. Like, have you guys been in situations like we have joined things where I am instantly just like, this is not for us, and that is okay. Like, that it's just, maybe this is okay for other people. I don't like this.
Yes. And I think we have to like get better at practicing at using that muscle, because it seems like, well, all these other parents are here. They seem to be doing okay. Like, everyone else is in this thing, but like, yeah, it's okay to like opt out sometimes, especially when they're 3.
Yeah, and I would not be afraid. I would talk to the coaches first, right? Because maybe everyone is feeling like this is chaotic, and I always think like, has no one said anything? But if you say something and they're like, this is how we go, I would just go ask for a refund. I would be like, this is not what we thought we were getting. This feels unsafe. I would like to be done. I agree too. Like 3 is really young to be worrying about classes. If your kid is having a great time and you need them to do something, totally fine. But I would make sure they are most important, right, would be to be in a class in which they are safe and they have fun. And it doesn't sound like that is happening in this class. Like, can they just go out on the court between lessons and play? Can you just have like a stick and a puck for them to play on the sidelines? Like, is there somewhere better for the whole family to be? Like, I think there's a lot of options, but if what you were looking for was like, is this normal? I would say like, I have not been in a class like this.
Right. Unless the class is like open court, like, come and mess around.
Yeah.
That might be the structure of it. And therefore like you have your answer that it's not for you. But it's also more likely that it's just not being facilitated well.
Also, why do 3-year-olds have sticks and pucks?
Well, I couldn't figure out, is it hockey?
Yeah, maybe they do something
playing
different.
hockey?
Maybe they do something different every week.
And then like, is your kid ice skating? That sounds awesome. Maybe it's floor hockey? I don't know. But they called it a court, not a rink. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I was imagining floor hockey.
Like, what is the sport here?
Yeah. The sport is like, get the stick before the 40-year-old dad gets it. We're totally on your side, Bench the parents.
Yeah, we want to know more.
Yeah.
This is, write us back. What sport is it? What's happening?
What sport?
First and foremost, what sport is this?
What did it say in the brochure about what you were getting into? And totally, what did the coach say when you, if and when you go and talk to them? We're very curious about the feedback they give you.
Are there any other bewildered parents on the bench? Like, I also feel like when I'm bewildered somewhere, I look for
around
the other parents that also seem horrified.
Yeah,
right?
Which is, they're usually pretty easy to spot.
Group?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, look for wide eyes, other children running over, being like, that adult took my puck.
And
like,
you might build your own little splinter group with the other wide eyes.
That's right. You guys could have your own group. Like, this group is coached by a coach. This group is pure chaos.
Yep. I'm totally going for the former group.
Well, thanks for getting in touch, Bench the Parents. We hope some of these suggestions helped. We definitely want to hear how it goes. Please keep us updated on this sport class. If you've got any burning questions or, of course, just want to chat, you can drop us a line at momanddad@slate.com or ring us up at 646-357-9318. Seriously, we want to hear your questions, so send them our way. And that's our show. Subscribe, leave a rating and review, and of course, tell your friends. This episode of Mom and Dad Are Fighting is produced by Maura, Currie, and Rosemary Belson. Shasha Leonard is the voice of our listeners. Alicia Montgomery is the VP of Slate Audio. For Jamila Lemieux and Zach Rosen, I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. Thanks for listening.